Thank you, Sahani sir and Muktendra Singh sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1882nd day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Huang Wei Ling from Brazil. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathy lovers, students, and doctors. And we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. And we have the international session from 8:30 to 9:30. And from 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself, so that those who missed the session can watch it again and subscribe the same without paying any money. And the purpose of this forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world so that homeopathy will be propagated in a good way. And let me come to today's guest. Our guest is Dr. Huang Wei Ling from Brazil. And doctor was born in Taiwan and is a traditional practitioner. She is a specialist in infectious and parasite diseases. She is a general practitioner and parental and internal medicine, nutrition therapist, acupuncturist, pain management, and homeopath. And she is practicing from 1997 onwards in the approach of treatment with chronic diseases with the holistic way and the treatment guided through teaching of traditional Chinese medicine and Hippocratic. Author of the theory Constitutional Homeopathy of 5 elements based on traditional Chinese medicine. She is the author of more than 230 publications about treatment of variety of diseases, rehabilitating internal energy. And today, Dr. Sarjit is curing prostate cancer with the metastasis using homeopathy and Chinese medicine. That's something great because she has presented a lot of sessions in this forum, and all the presentations are brilliant, were brilliant, really. And let us proudly welcome Dr. Huang Wei Ling to this session. Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Danesh. Thank you for introducing me today. Congratulations for this forum. I want to share my data show now.
Yes.
Can you see the data show?
Yes, everything fine. You can go ahead.
Okay. The theme of this presentation is curing prostate cancer with metastases using homeopathy and Chinese medicine. For Western medical doctors, could be impossible. But what I want to say is that the majority of patients with the prostate cancer is not curing with the use of chemotherapy and other Western medical treatment. And I will explain to you why today. This presentation will be following Hippocrates' thought that said that foolish the doctor who despises the knowledge acquired by the ancient. For this reason, I usually use the reasoning used by traditional Chinese medicine that exists for more than 5,000 years with the reasoning used by Samuel Hahnemann, the creator of homeopathy 200 years ago. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and the second leading cause of death in men. And the increasing mortality rate is linked to metastatic disease, but also to the form of treatment that the medical doctors are treating their patients. The signs and symptoms usually presented in patients with prostate cancer could be frequent urination, weak, interrupted urine flow, blood into seminal fluid, need to stain or empty the bladder, blood in the urine, pain or burning during urination, the urge to urinate frequently at night, and erectile dysfunction. And the treatment of Western medicine is they usually use a surgery to take out the prostate, hormonal treatment, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and immune therapy. But what I want to say is that we are facing a new global immune deficiency caused by the influence of the modernization of telecommunication. And we are facing this immune deficiency for the last 11 years, since 2014. And the energy part of the human body is affected. And that is why we are facing the formation of so many diseases nowadays, including the increasing rate of cancer. And this is the article that I published 2 years ago, showing that we are facing this new type of immune deficiency caused by energy deficiency in the 5 internal massive organs of the 5-element theory of traditional Chinese medicine. Regarding the PSA, the exam that we usually use to detect prostate cancer, the screening, is that when the PSA is very high, above 100 nanogram per ml, are often associated with metastatic cancer. But the moderate elevated levels above 15 nanograms per ml could be associated also with metastasis, especially in the bones. But low values with metastasis can occur, but it's less common. And it is also related to aggressive cancer with metastasis. And this could be happening in a very undifferentiated tumor cells in prostate cancer. And also the other exams that the usual PSA is not isolated to see metastasis. We can use other radiological exams such as the scintillography of bone and PET scan, etc. And this is the result of the measurement of the 5 internal massive organs in all patients nowadays, including babies that are born in the hospitals today. They are having this pattern of energy in the liver, kidney, heart, lung, spleen, kidney, and liver. And this is the chakras energy centers studied by Ayurvedic medicine that exists for more than 6,000 years. And there is a correlation of the chakras energy centers with the 5-element theory in traditional Chinese medicine. So this is the first chakra, this is 7th chakra. The first is the liver, the second kidney, the third heart, the fourth is lung, the fifth is spleen. And I usually use the metaphor of the tree to explain the different viewpoints between Western and traditional Chinese medicine. In the past, before me, Western medicine worked separately without any combination with traditional Chinese medicine reasoning. But when I began to study both traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, and Western medicine, I saw that they are not different. Traditional Chinese medicine is study only the different part of the formation of disease before their materialization in in the leaf level of this tree. So this tree that the part that we can see by the naked eye is studied by Western medicine. And the part of the human body that we cannot see, the part of energy that is invisible to our naked eye, is studied by traditional Chinese medicine. So the formation of all disease in TCM is made in this part, in the root of this tree. And the imbalance of this root is generated by emotional factors, errors in the dietary aspect, and the third reason is the influence of the electromagnetic radiation nowadays after the implementation of 4G and 5G technology and the use of cell phones and computers. So all disease came from the imbalance of this energy in the root, leading to formation of many disease in the leaf level. So in the root level, and nowadays, I showed in many articles showing that the root of the majority of patients nowadays are very weak in energy. And when I measure the energy of all these 5 internal massive organs, I demonstrated in many articles showing that the liver, kidney, heart, spleen, and lungs are very low in energy. And each organ is responsible for the production of one internal energy for our survival that I will show to you in the next slide. Also, the influence of the external pathogenic factors, such as the influence of cold, wind, heat, humidity, and dryness, can lead to formation of this disease in the leaf level, mainly the influence of cold and wind. You can see that when someone is submitted to a fan or air conditioning, they can begin to have a runny nose or a cough or pneumonia, etc. And the first theory in the root is the yin and yang theory. They need to be in balanced state. And the imbalance between these two energies can lead to formation of these symptoms in the leaf level. So yin energy, when is less than yang, you can have the symptoms of hot flash and heat sensations, irritability. And this is very common in women in menopause, patients with diabetes, patients with obesity, and all autoimmune disease has this in energy deficiency. And yang energy deficiency, when the patient has cold hands and cold feet and can have liquid retention, urinary incontinence, they have this energy deficiency situation. And that's why the importance of balance this energy into an equilibrium between yin and yang is very important. This is the main part of the treatment in all kinds of disease to achieve a cure, and including patients with prostate cancer. We need to balance these two energies to cure our patients. All these reasoning began in 2006 when I treated one specific patient in my clinic, and I will show to you his history. He went to my clinic demonstrating that he was presented pain in his leg for the last 6 months with no improvement of his condition, only using anti-inflammatory medication. And he asked me to treat him with another kind of medicine. And instead of treating his symptom in the leaf level, I treated his energy imbalance in the root level of this tree. He was presented a kidney yang energy deficiency, and after using 10 acupuncture sessions and changing his dietary aspect, he returned and said that his leg pain improved, but he also improved for another condition that I was not aware, that he was presenting glaucoma for the last 40 years with no improvement of his condition, only using eye drops. And for the first time of his life, his intraocular pressure reduced from 40 to 17 mmHg. And after this patient, I started to present it in so many conferences worldwide to show that the importance of treating the energy alterations presented in the root in all kinds of disease, and not only treating the symptoms as did in Western medicine. So in this figure, I'm showing to you that the majority of patients that is the yin-yang symbol. Yang is represented by this white part, and yin is this black part. And there is a necessity to have an equilibrium between yin and yang to cure many diseases, including cancer. And this is what I want to show in this presentation, that cancer is considered an imbalance of this yin and yang energy. And when we balance these two energies, we can achieve cure of this disease. And all kind of disease can be cured when we use this reasoning. Yeah, according to traditional Chinese medicine, these four energies is the main cornerstone of treatment of all kind of disease. And when we achieve the balance between yin and qi and blood, we can cure all the patient's symptoms at the same time, including cancer. This is what I was asking in my mind to see if I treat the patients with cancer using this theory, if I could cure patients with cancer and with metastasis. And what I want to show to you, I will show through two case reports. And when the patient is having yin energy deficiency or yang energy deficiency of qi or blood, there is a formation of internal fire inside the body that you are looking at this slide. And this is the sign and symptoms. All patients with cancer has this energy deficiency and formation of internal fire. And what we need to do in Chinese medicine is to take out this heat, orientate the patients to reduce the foods that can increase this heat, such as fried foods, eggs, honey, coconut, alcoholic beverages, and melted cheese. And here to avoid the ingestion of coffee, soda, and matcha tea. And here is to reduce the ingestion of dairy products, cold water, raw foods, and sweets. And here is to, if you treat all these three energies, you will have a good qi. And in this presentation, I will show two case reports. The first case is a 46-year-old man with a history of prostate cancer. And his urologist did a robotic surgery, taking out his prostate. And in the beginning, before the surgery, he had 2 nanograms per DL of PSA. But after this surgery, instead of reducing the PSA increased to 40 nanograms per DL. And he went to my clinic, and he traveled for about 400 kilometers to treat with me. And after measuring his energy of his chakras energy centers, he was in this situation. All his chakras energy centers were in the lowest level of energy, showing no energy in the liver, in the kidney, in the heart, lung, spleen. And the energy that is responsible for the prostate is the kidney. And what I want to show to you in this presentation is that after 30 days of treatment, using TCM, orientating the dietary aspect, doing acupuncture, and using homeopathy medication to increase the energy of these 5 internal mass organs, it was possible to reduce from 40 to 0.2 in 30 days of treatment. And he was very happy with this result, and nowadays he is still using the 5 homeopathy medications to increase his immune system, because all patients with cancer has in the background this energy deficiency in the 5 internal mass organs, and that is why we need to increase our immune system, increasing the energy of these 5 internal mass organs to all these internal energy fight against the malignant cells that he is producing in the prostate. The second case report is a 68-year-old man. He had the diagnosis of prostate cancer, and he took out the prostate about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And after surgery, he had urinary incontinence and sexual dysfunction. And he was using diapers because of this urinary incontinence. But using the allopathic medication to reduce the urinary incontinence and sexual dysfunction, he was not improving of his symptom. And he went to my clinic, and I used the same treatment. He was in this situation also. He was having energy deficiency in the liver, in the kidney, in the heart, lung, spleen. And I used the theory created by myself, constitutional homeopathy of the 5 elements based on traditional Chinese medicine, when I treated the liver with phosphorus, kidney with natrium muriaticum, heart with sulfur, lung with silicia, and spleen with calcária carbônica. And using this treatment, he was in the beginning, the PSA was 25 and went to 0 after this treatment. But after some time, he had 2 relapses in this PSA when he stopped the treatment with me, and he stopped to use homeopathy to treat these 5 internal mass organs energy, and he stopped acupuncture to do a vitamin supplement. And vitamin is considered a high concentrated medication. And according to Arne Schultz law created in 1888 by 2 German researchers, they say that any kind of medication, high concentrated medication, can reduce even more our internal energy and can lead to complication or even death. And that is why he was using vitamin for the last 2 months and returned after this treatment. And when he returned, his PSA was 25 again. It went to 0 and went to 25 after vitamin supplementation. And we began to treat again using this homeopathy of the 5 elements, of constitutional homeopathy of the 5 elements based on traditional Chinese medicine. And we restarted acupuncture, and after the first month of treatment, his PSA went down to 0 again. But this year, his family told him to do only oncologist treatment using chemotherapy, and he stopped to do acupuncture again and to use the homeopathy medication. And after this thing, he stopped for 5 months, and when he returned, he was very weak in energy, and we measured his PSA went to 73 nanograms per DL in 6 months when he stopped to use the homeopathy to replenish the energy of the 5 internal massive organs, and stopped to do acupuncture. And that is why, and after this, he also had metastasis to central nervous system and hip bones. And that's why I'm saying that the use of chemotherapy in patients with prostate cancer can worsen very much their energy situation, because they are worsening the energy of the internal organs that are very low, leading to complications or even death of our patients. And the majority of patients with cancer has this energy deficiency in these 5 internal massive organs. Nowadays, they are considered immune deficient, and we needed to treat this condition to have a successful treatment and treating the cause. And this is the theory I created in 2015 when I began my homeopathy course in Brazil. And instead of treating the leaf level, I'm treating the root level of this tree using only 5 homeopathy medications to treat the majority of disease in the leaf level. So to treat the spleen, I use calcárea carbônica. To treat the liver, lung, you use silicia. To treat kidney, natrium muriaticum. To treat liver, phosphorus. And to treat the heart, sulfur. And this is very important to use nowadays in this new global immune deficiency, because we are all immune deficient in the whole globe, in whole planet. In any kind of country nowadays, we are in this situation, and that's why we need to use these 5 homeopathic medication to increase the energy of these 5 internal massive organs, to prevent the formation or to treat any kind of condition, including cancer. And this is the dietary aspect that I orientate the patient to avoid. We need to avoid dairy products, because dairy products can increase the retention of liquid inside the body, increasing the size of the tumor, and increase all these foods here. We need to orientate them to avoid the cold water, raw foods, sweets, avoid the ingestion of fried foods, eggs, honey, coconut, alcoholic beverage, chocolate, and melted cheese, because all these foods can increase the formation of internal fire inside the body, leading to complications in patients with cancer. And also to reduce or avoid the ingestion of coffee, soda, and mate tea, because all these drinks can reduce the energy of the kidney. And the intention in the treatment of patients with prostate cancer is to replenish the energy of all these organs using homeopathy medications, according to the theory created by myself, constitutional homeopathy, to using this internal energy to cure, to eliminate the malignant cells without using chemotherapy or surgery. And here was the research that I did in my clinic in Brazil before the COVID-19 pandemic, showing that before the COVID-19 pandemic, the majority of patients in Brazil were in the lowest level of energy in the liver, in the kidney, in the heart, lung, and the spleen, independent on the type of diagnosis, independent on the age group. And this is why we need to know this situation and treat our patients accordingly. And according to Arne Schultz's law created by 1888 by 2 German researchers, they are saying that the use of any kind of high concentrated medication can reduce our vital energy, our chi, our energy, that is protection, that can avoid the formation of these malignant cells. And when the patient has cancer, it's very important to avoid the use of any kind of high concentrated medication to do not reduce even more this internal energy that's already very low. And the use of high diluted medication is very important nowadays to increase our energy to fight against the formation of any kind of disease nowadays. And this is the article written by myself showing the children in this immune deficiency, what's the characteristics, and the adults in this new global immune deficiency, and the use of cell phones and computers that's affecting our immune system. Here's the article that I published 2 years ago, showing the energy alterations in patients with prostate cancer and what we need to do to improve or cure them without using chemotherapy, radiotherapy, or surgery. Because all these Western medical therapies, chemotherapy and radiotherapy, can reduce even more this internal energy that's already very low and leading to complications or even death of these patients. And here are more articles showing that what we need to do to reduce the formation of metastases in patients with cancer. We need to treat this energy deficiency condition in the 5 internal massive organs to increase our internal energy, increase our immune system, to the immune system fight against the formation of these malignant cells. And in this article, I'm showing that what are the markers that predict the development of having cancer in the future without a laboratory or radiological test. Because nowadays we are doing screening of cancer using mammography, using prostate biopsy, etc. But these are not good measurements because, for example, mammography, there is a radiation that can reduce even more the energy of our patients that are already very low. Any kind of radiological tests nowadays are very, they emit radiation, and this radiation can reduce the internal energy and leading to complication or leading to less energy and less immune system. For this reason, the marker that can predict, we needed to use, I use the radiesthesia procedure using a crystal pendulum to measure the energy of our internal organs to see how is the situation of these organs and to treat this condition, because this is the condition that's leading to formation of our the disease in our patients, and including cancer. And that is why when we measure and see that the patient is not having energy in these organs, it's very important to treat this condition accordingly, only using high diluted medication instead of high concentrated medication. And why every cancer is only the tip of the iceberg is that cancer is localized in the leaf level of the tree, but the real cause is on the root of this tree that we need to have in mind this idea to treat the patients accordingly. And here's the article when I showed how I discovered that treating root of all problems could also treat cancer. And this was my, what I was, there is an interrogation in my mind to see if when I treat the root of the tree, I could treat cancer patients. And the answer of this question was that we can treat cancer treating the root and not treating the leaf level. To finalize my presentation, I would like to say that in Brazil, acupuncture and homeopathy are considered medical specialties by the Federal Medical Council since 1980 and 1995. And I know that there are some countries in the world that are not considering them as medical specialties, but they are very important tools that we need to use nowadays to treat these new kind of patients that we are treating nowadays, considered immune deficient. And we need to do not reduce or avoid the use of any kind of high concentrate medications, because these medications can reduce even more the internal energy and lead to stagnation of blood, leading to myocardial infarction or strokes or thrombosis or even sudden death. And this is what we are looking very frequently nowadays in our social media, seeing that many kinds of people, mainly adolescents and young adults, are dying very soon. But this part is related to this energy deficiency situation. And to show to you that we need to have integration of homeopathy, Western and traditional Chinese medicine to understand what is happening holistically in the patients nowadays, that we need to use more high diluted medication instead of high concentrated medication. According to Hippocrates, he said that it's more important to treat the patient and not the disease the patient has. In the case of prostate cancer, we need to treat the patient. Treating the root, we can cure patients with the prostate cancer. If we only focus our treatment in the cancer itself, we cannot cure the patients. We need to see the patient holistically and treating the whole body, including the mind and spirit and the body, to have good results. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer you. Thank you.
Exactly, verified presentation. Yes, we have a treatment for the so-called cancer conditions. Homeopathy can do excellent job in bringing back the patients as early as possible without any doing any damage. But
Yeah.
along with some kind of this addendum, for example, what you're doing into that is your own technological knowledge in using Chinese medicine along with homeopathy that give you excellent result in that way. So that means that homeopathy, along with some other, for example, some people use as yoga with homeopathy. Some people use as acupuncture with homeopathy. Some people use as the so-called natural nature's methods with homeopathy. So all those things are really giving an excellent result and doing any damage to the patient. That is the most important point we have noted in this condition itself. As you rightly point out, the prostatic cancer is one of the area where most of the people having most of the cancer condition in men get more damage than any other organ. As we all know, this is something connected with the sexual organ, and the life situation of the patient is very important in that way also. What we have found is that if a person who is having a poor sexual relationship with his family wife, that may do some kind of damage to the prostate. People believe that when you ride on a motorcycle for long distance for long time, that may spoil the chance of that may spoil this kind of prostatic problems. that may bring out this kind of prostatic problem also. But suppression of sexual functions may be one of the reasons behind this problem. And sometimes big calculus as well as recurrent constipation is also one of the there are people who are having prolapse of rectum or even piles, the internal piles may suffer from prostatic disorders. And same as those people in women who usually suffers from fibroid uterus. And same also, men suffer from this problem. If we take the case in detail, we can find that the person may have different kind of sex because sometimes he may be having a lack of sex due to illness of his wife, or maybe they were working in a different part of the world, and they may have not able to contact regularly. So that suppression of sexual functions may lead to one of the maybe one of the reasons. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, this is a very common condition that I treat in Brazil, the prolapse of rectum or uterus or the bladder. And this is related to energy deficiency situation, and we need to treat the dietary aspects, avoiding the ingestion of cold foods and cold water, and use the homeopathy to increase the energy, and this is very important because we need also these patients, we need to avoid them to go to surgery because the majority of Western doctors indicate the use of surgery to correct. And this is to go to surgery nowadays. The patient needs to go to use anesthetic medication and can have some complications using this kind of medication. And that is why it's indicated to use only clinical treatment if it's possible.
In your experience, which are the which are the homeopathic medicine more suitable to this disorder or this kind of problems? People used to say that Naxomica, conium, like podium, as well as are some of the best remedies, as well as Sabal when a person uses Sabal we know that most of the people regularly use Sabal for this prolapse, this prostatic
Yeah.
complaints.
Yeah,
And
the prolapse is caused by kidney yang energy deficiency and deficiency of qi. And that is why we need to use, I usually use causticum to
yes,
improve this energy also. Okay.
Causticum. Your favorite medicine is Causticum, but when patients come with suppression of sex or the reason behind this problem maybe of sex related with sexual complaints, then we can use conium as one of the best remedy. Conium 30 or conium 1 or 0 LM potency work in a better way. But the use of Sabasalita comes into the picture only when there is constipation along with this prostatic problem. Because when a patient who is suffering from recurrent constipation, and as a result, he may develop this kind of piles. And in those conditions, if the patient is having this prostatic problem, then you can use Sabasalita. But unfortunately, most people are using this regularly. But that seems to be of no use. But only when the indications are right, then you can go, whether it be tincture, the potency, whatever may be. It depend upon the choice of the doctor to choose a specific way, and the doctor can choose it accordingly. Have you experienced these medicines in your practice? Have, have you ever tested these medicines in your practice?
Oh, no, I don't have the experience
No.
yet.
Now I invite Dr. Sridhar sir to say a few words on these complaints, sir. Sir, you can unmute Sridhar sir.
Yes,
Yes,
whether it's audible.
yes, sir, definitely. Yes, sir, we can clearly,
Yes. See, what I felt, what you said that Kodayammak in one of the best remedy, and we will get maximum result in Kodayammak. And then another medicine is Parsatila. The third medicine is Tuja. These are the trademark medicines, even if you may see some of the repertory. But I saw Sabar circulata in acute conditions. Sabar circulata, selenium, Staphysaccarea, also it is very good. That I felt that, of course, in some cases, we can do it that the uh, prostate enlargement. Another medicine is Baretta. In old age, most of the time, after 60 or 70, most of the people are suffering from to the prostate enlargement. In such case, you can use Baretta. Is just like that of a feeling, like that of you are sitting in a ball, like that of such feeling. Chemophila in lower potency, and that up to 3x you can use it. It is very good. Then I already explained about the Coneamac. That is one of the most important, very, very, very important medicine. You cannot pass the urine. Very, very difficult condition. Such condition you can do. I use usually 0/3 potency. Then another medicine is digitalis. If you are having in old age, there is a heart problems, and the urine is passing by drop, with severe pain. In such case, digitalis is the medicine. If it is there is a history of tuberculosis, there you can use tuberculinum and iodum. Iodum also lower potencies, it is very useful. If it is blood coming through the urethra, in the urine, then osimum can be used. That if that it will not go, urine will not go. In such cases, Breba you can use. Then already mentioned about the Sabat circulata, which is one of the special medicine for only for along with other indicated medicine you can use for temporary relief. And there is a big burning, unbearable burning in the urethra. Sabat circulata will give immediate relief. If it is very chronic cases, such cases, Toldago can be used. In old age, in most of the case, the old age this is coming. There is a tendency to go often that immediately after again you must have to go to again, and if you may pass urine also, there is you feel that something is drops are staying in the urethra. You like to go again and again, and burning. Staphysaccarea is the medicine. Then Parampicricum. This is another medicine. That is also, usually it is in old age itself. So it is one of the most important medicine. It is night aggravation. Again and again, seems to be he must seems to be go to again and again. There is some heaviness in the anal region. There is severe pain in the penis also to feel, that is parampicrical. These are some of the main. Anyway, what I feel, even after the operation also, there may be a chance of some problems, incontinence, or some obstructions we can deal with. We are having very good remedies in our Media Medica. So we can use it. Even other systems and pain, it is our system can give some relief, and that at least that can be extended, sufferance can be reduced. That is my opinion. Madam, I like to ask one question, whether I can, there is time.
Yes, sir, you can go ahead with
Yes,
this.
I like to ask, in an earlier age, that means our, I started my practice 50 years back. That time, cancer, even in prostate cancer, was very less. Now it is maximum. Every house there may be one case of cancer. What is the reason for that? Whether you feel, whether you can answer it, you can answer it. What is the cause?
Yes,
Madam, you understood or not the question?
yes, sir, yes, sir, sir, I will, she's, yes, Dr. Huang Wei Long. Hi. Hi, doctor. This is Huang.
He is there, but
Yes,
she,
sir. There was a question from Sridhar Group, sir. What can be the reason behind the increase a number of cancer in this era? Because sir was practicing for the last 50 years, and at that time the cancer was very, very low. But things are entirely different now. What can be the reason?
Yeah, the reason for this is that because of this global immune deficiency, the energy changed and the immune system is not working. And that is why the
But
cancer.
what are the factors that spoil the immunity according to you? And what are the reason behind that?
The reason to reduce this energy is the modernization of telecommunication, the use of cell phones, computers, the use of Wi-Fi, 5G technology, and this is weakening our energy increasing the cancer and all kinds of disease, including autism, myocardial infarction, any kind of disease, anxiety, depression, also have these energy alterations in the background. And that's why it's very important to treat this condition nowadays in every patient, to treat the cause and not just the symptoms.
Okay.
if time permits, I shall ask one more question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Dr. Whether into the last stage of the cancer, that means the fourth stage, what you can do in the last stage? Whether you got any palliation method, whether
Yeah.
that's something.
In the last stage of cancer, we need to do the same treatment. We need to increase our energy, because if the patient will die because the energy is weak, is very low. And if you increase the internal energy, the organs will work properly, and the body can fight against these malignant cells. And this is the part of the root that Western medicine cannot treat, because the majority of medication that they are using nowadays are high concentrated medication, are reducing even more this energy, and the patient will worse their condition, as I shown in the second case report. When he used the chemotherapy increased from 2 to 73. The immune system reduced, and that is why the exam were worsening. And that's why I am taking out all chemotherapy nowadays, to do not reduce the internal energy, to increase this energy. And the energy of our organs will fight against the formation of these cancer cells without using any kind of medication, because the medication nowadays are reducing the energy and increasing the chance to have cancer. And that's one of the reasons nowadays is the use, any kind of chronic use of any kind of high concentrated medication also.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, most people are running towards these called modern medicine for treatment of these kind of problems, and they may end up their lifetime in the short, very short. They
Yeah.
may, if they may go to some either homeopathy, Ayurveda, or some like this Chinese therapy, their life may extend to some more years or days. That is what we have felt, because very few people may have the confidence to treat with these systems of medicine, because they believe that we have no such a technology to treat with, because people believe in technology and they are running towards technology for finding early solution, but actually their solution is early death, and that's what we have noted. And that what's your opinion on that? And then we can conclude the session. We can invite Dr. Ramray. So after your comment, I am.
And the another reason that is increasing is the use of metallic implants of teeth. These metallic implants can reduce even more the internal energy and lead to reduced energy of these organs, and can reduce our immune system. And also the use of implantation of metallic implant in the bones. And that is why we need to see other options of treatment without using these kind of implants.
Okay, thank you. And now I am inviting Dr. Ramray Sir to say auto thanks to the session.
थैंक यू गणेश जी एंड हमारे नमस्कार मनोज जी एंड सर प्रूफ सर एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन मैडम वेरी नाइस एक्सीलेंट सेशन एंड क्यूरिंग प्रोस्टेट कैंसर विथ होम्योपैथिक एंड चाइनीज थेरापी एक्यूपंक्चर प्रेशर तो होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन प्रोस्टेट enlargement treatment, symptomological and miasmatical. Miasmatical thuja is the best remedy. Prostate enlargement and accusatum hilum. Prostate enlargement, according to symptom, accusatum hilum, the good remedy for enlargement of prostate gland. So, very, very thanks, madam. Behalf of IFPH, whole
Thank you.
team, very, very thanks again for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramray Sir, and Dr. HUANG WEI LING, Dr. Sridhar Sir, and those who attend the session in this evening. And tomorrow we will have a session from Professor Paul Joseph from Canada, and Doctor will be talking about glandular acid phosphoria. So another big day is awaiting for you. Please join in time. Those who missed the session can watch in YouTube, search IFPH Homeopathy. Please share and subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, you can subscribe the same without paying any money. That's the beauty of International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Thank you all. Good night. It's over to Dr. Mariamma John to moderate the Malayalam session.
നന്ദി ദിനേശ് ഡോക്ടറെ.